Welcome to Storyboarding for Animation. My name is Carlos Romero. Hello, it's great to meet all of you. I can't wait to get you to know all of you in time. All over 60 of you. Thank you so much for so many of you coming to join us for this class. Don't be afraid. This is where it's like, hey, if you have a Sharpie, if you have with a lot of the drawing instruments, if you're drawing physically in place, you can't necessarily erase, and so you're committing. You're committing. Just got to develop that confidence to or the bravery to just put down these lines without like expecting everything to be perfect. Panel here, an audience. That's right. I mentioned earlier, we have an audience that we will ultimately be presenting our storyboards to. If you're either working on a movie, on a show, if you're working on a personal project, a short film, just even a slideshow. Honestly, like even a slideshow, when you look at your giant roll of pictures in your camera, and you're told to put let's say like a slideshow together for a wedding, you will instinctively start searching for the photos that start off early on in someone's life. Maybe like, oh, here's when we met. Here's us when we were 5, and here's our first day at in elementary school. Uh, here's the day we went to college. You're already kind of chronologically putting together a story of this person's life, either yours or someone else's, for the purposes of telling that story. And you're picking pictures specifically because they are showing specific moments of your life. And so you are working with a director normally, but it's also interesting to look at when you board your own scene as being your own director. You are kind of in charge of bringing like what might be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 script pages to life, and that is a section of a movie that you are picturing in your head first. And of course, you're trying to align with what the director wants, the actual director of the show or the movie. But you are also, as someone making the decisions that involve like the acting, the shot choices, the some design choices, right? The directors and the biz dev might provide a certain level of guidance, but at the end of the day, it's still you piecing all these things together. And so I wouldn't say it's that strange to consider yourself like a mini director for those moments. But this all comes together for a lot that we're all juggling. But on top of that, you're also collaborating with a team, and you're all supporting each other, and you're all boarding your own separate scenes. And I'm just very glad I found this image because it really does feel like an active story team in a state of figuring out a film altogether. Everyone's got a different scene. Everyone's got a different moment. Some scenes are being cut, others rewritten, some are moving ahead. Some are in second passes, some are in the first passes, some are in different phases, but we are all meant to kind of be in this one unified group, creating one film at the end of the day. And it's going to be a learned skill that you kind of develop as as much as I hope we can tap into that in this class. Once you are outside of this timeline, this course, it is a skill or something at least I encourage you to continue pitching with others, in your life, whether it's your family, your friends, your significant other, other people drawing, new friends you make. Either way, it's still kind of developing that skill. This shot again could be a person's POV. It's almost as if they're walking towards the location of where the movie's going to take place. And we keep getting closer and closer and closer. This is still a wide, technically, like the super wide, going into more of a just a wide. And we keep going and going and going until we finally realize, like, no, this is not a person's POV. Yes, you, the audience, are a person watching this movie, and that's how we kind of gradually introduce you into this world. But we are kind of passing the baton now to the scale of how ants experience this world. And so that's why they stop very deliberately here, obviously to show the ants, picking grains, but we are stopping here and staying here because this is the POV that we're going to be with for the film. And so now we will transition more into a medium close-up. And so when we were getting kind of friendly and familiar before, which would work again with different character dynamics as well, it's something that's useful for even characters that are enemies, but you're still getting a sense of the context of how they're framed through a medium. With a medium close-up, we're now getting a little more intimate, right? Like now you're finding yourself again, like I mentioned earlier, like imagine yourself close enough to a person, like you'd start getting the feeling like you're better friends with them, or at least getting more in tune with their emotional state. The closer we're getting. A subjective camera is more opinionated and is from the perspective of a more specific character on screen and meant to kind of get the audience to favor one or the other, actually have an opinion themselves. An objective camera is kind of the opposite. And so these cameras are more detached. They are more apart from the characters. Uh, they are looking to give a more natural or unbiased view of the audience, so of the scene to the audience. And so you might see these used more for like establishing shots or just an overall view of the scene. Scenes that aren't particularly in need of seeing someone, or shots at least that aren't particularly in need of being a specific person's POV. We have here a trucking shot. And so, this is a camera locked into a more like horizontal movement to show, to kind of lock onto a character as we're panning with them, either walking on the street here in Lion King. We're watching them walking on this log, a very iconic moment in the Hakuna Matata sequence. They're utilizing this moment to show him growing up. And just in terms of composition, just very clearly laid out. Every character in the same spot as Simba's growing up. That clarity is just so immensely clear with how they compose the shot, with them on this one consistent horizontal element, and just making sure their silhouettes are as clear as possible. We want to just be, if you're told you're brainstorming, you're given a main prompt, an idea, and at most, sometimes you're given like, oh, like, don't do anything with water because we can't afford anything with liquid being rendered, or I'm seeing a lot of the reasons why they didn't go with a lot of these gags here, which is fine. I mean, this is you submit if everyone's assigned brainstorming, it's like you're going to get 5 artists all submitting gags and only one of them might move forward. And it's not to say that the ones aren't used were good. It's just like, I'll, as I go through these, observe how some of them used cloth physics. Some of them needed, more material things that need some more intense rendering or technical solving. You know, for example, in Moana, we were told at a certain point, like, do not get anyone wet anymore, please. Like the chicken can't get wet. Like that was if we had a commandments, like the 10 Commandments on our wall of like Moana, they erased half of it and wrote like wet nothing. Like we can't afford any more. We can't figure out the tech. Don't have Maui land. So no, what was it? Oh, my friend Sunmi was boarding a scene, where a seagull was flying and landed on a rock, and she was told, like, don't do that. We can't have it land. You can cut to a shot where it lands, but we don't have the rig to show a seagull landing believably. So you're gonna get weird things like that told at a certain point, and you just gotta think around it. Great, wonderful to have you all. Go get some rest, and see you next week.